We know that there are so many ways one person can become a permanent resident of the United States of America, meaning one person to become a green card holder. But I want to make a distinction between someone getting green card through marriage, and especially, let's say, marrying to a US citizen, versus green card by other means. By other means, I mean getting green card through diversity visa lottery, or getting green card through asylum, getting green card through work, or getting green card maybe a parent is sponsoring a child, or a child is sponsoring a parent, or someone is sponsoring a sibling. So, or you get by EB visa, and then you get permanent residence. So there are so many other ways one person can become a permanent resident. But what are the difference? Those other ways vis-a-vis the green card by marriage, and especially marrying a US citizen. Number one, the duration of the permanent resident card. That is the one of the area where there is a distinction. If you get green card by marriage, you are given the difference expiration vis-a-vis if you get green card by other means. Usually, the permanent residence card expires after every 10 years. Then you are going to renew. Just like the US passport for adults, usually is going to expire after 10 years. Then you are going to renew. But for the permanent residence, if you get green card by other means, not by marriage, your card will be given the 10 years permanent residence card. So that we call fully permanent resident card. No condition on that. But if you get green card by marriage, you get married today, you apply, but you apply the green card before 2 years of marriage, you will be given what is called the conditional green card. Meaning, you are given a green card for 2 years, a condition that you must continue being married for those 2 years to activate the fully non-conditional, the fully permanent resident of 10 years. So when you get married, you are given 2 years. Then after 2 years, that is called the conditional green card. Then you have to remove the conditional green card by showing that you are still married to that person, and the marriage is continuing to be a real marriage, a bona fide marriage. That's how it is. But let's say you get married to a US citizen, and you apply a green card after 2 years. 2 years of marriage. When they give you the green card, they'll give automatically 10 years. So as long as the marriage is 2 years, you'll be given 10 years. So many people, they apply, majority of people apply before 2 years. But there are some people apply after 2 years. For instance, there is one person I know got married to a person is in East Africa, but they applied for the green card 2.5 years later. So when they given the green card, it was already 10 years. There is one Tanzanian here in the US a couple years ago, was a student. After getting married, they continue with the other processes, like the person continued to be a student, didn't want to change because of the visa the person was having. The person has an international student visa and having fully funded scholarship, was doing masters, so didn't want to go and get green card, and then you are no longer international student and possibly didn't know whether you are continue to be given the scholarship or not. So the person didn't want to take a chance, continue to until finishing graduate school, and then from that moment the person applied for green card. So when you were given the green card, was given automatically 10 years because they applied after 2 years of marriage, or the green card was granted after 2 years of marriage, so it's automatically 10 years. So that's the number one difference, the duration of the visa. One you are given the conditional, one is not conditional. So if you win the green card by lottery, you are given 10 years. If you get a green card by sponsorship, it's already 10 years. If you get it by work, it's 10 years. Things of that nature. The second difference is the waiting time to apply or to qualify to naturalize, to become a US citizen. The process of a person coming to the United States, becoming a permanent resident, and from permanent residence to become a citizen is called the naturalization process. In that process of naturalization, if you are processing that one, you must be a green card holder for a certain period of time. There are certain exceptions I'll be going to share with you. So if you get married to a US citizen and you continue being married to a US citizen for 3 years, you are allowed to apply to become a US citizen. It's not a must. If you want, you can apply to become a US citizen. So that is the aspect of marrying to a US citizen. But if you get a green card through any other way, you have to wait for 5 years to qualify to naturalize, to qualify to become a US citizen. So let's say you get married to a US citizen. After 3 years, you didn't apply. And maybe 3.5 to go to fourth year, you get separated, you divorced. That favor of 3 years is going to disappear. Then you have to wait until 5 years, like any other person. So if you get married and you divorce after 3 years, but less than 5 years, before you apply for the green card, for citizenship, that the favor of 3 years is going to disappear. So you have to be 3 years in marriage to get a citizenship. But if you divorce maybe the 3rd year or 2.5 year or the 4th year, and you didn't apply for the citizenship, you have to wait until 5 years to qualify for that. Obviously, then there is other regulation. How long are you staying in the US? Like, how is many times are you visiting to your home country or overseas and stay extended period of time? Within those 5 years, 3 years must be in the US. So there are certain other conditions of that nature. But regardless of whether you got green card by marriage, green card by lottery, green card by any other means, doesn't matter. But if you want to naturalize for very fastest way, if you join the US military as a green card holder, you'll be given the citizenship while you are in the basic training, in the boot camp. Myself, I got my citizenship while I was in the US Navy boot camp in the training. So that works for me. And almost everybody, I know tons of people who got citizenship while they're in the boot camp because they were the US citizens. That is the fastest way. If you don't want to wait or for other reasons, you want to serve in the US military, that is another way. So those are some of the major differences. But in the end, when you get a green card by marriage, exception of that 2 years conditional, nobody can know if you show someone's green card. There is no big deal that, oh, I got by marriage, or I got by green card by this way, You are all have the same conditions when it comes to the privileges, like how to find a job, whatever it is. All the conditions and regulations, as a person having green card, you all enjoy the same privileges, and you are all subjected into the same conditions of a person with a permanent residency status of the United States of America. So there is no someone, oh, because I got green card through lottery, I'm a superior than the person who got green card by work. Or because I got by work, I'm superior than the person who was sponsored by a brother. Or someone who got married is superior than this one. No, you are all permanent resident. Doesn't matter. So the difference comes into those particular areas. There are also some differences in terms of documents required. If you are going through lottery, will be different through through marriage. If you're going through marriage, it's different through work. So each one has difference in terms of what condition you need to have